Welcome, welcome. We're so excited to have you here today. If you are wherever you're at work, at home, watching us, we're super excited to have you here. We've got some exciting things to share with you. Really wanting to introduce my amazing team. We are missing one of them today. She will be, what did she say, off the grid. We've got Clarissa West.
Hey.
And Anjali.
Hey guys.
Hey, okay, looks like we've got some amazing things coming up that we would love to have you be a part of. We've got our live event and our 6-week, what did you call it, Developing Personal Power. It's going to be pretty amazing, guys.
Yep. So developing personal power is specifically for women only. It's something that we're going to connect with you once a week on. In addition to all of the other goodies that you're going to get with it. If it's something that you're interested in, definitely get a hold of one of us. Reserve your spot. Let's get you going. Set yourself up for success. And that's going to start on January 26th, on a Monday.
Awesome. So today we're going to go over a lot of how to really take in all the goodies in your life and let go and release all the bullshit. Let's just get straight to the point.
So when we first said that, I kind of thought, like, inhale the good shit. I thought maybe we'd be smoking something.
Pipe on the side?
Maybe. Inhale, like the good shit, meaning organic and clean and raw, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to damage anything.
So I think inhaling, it's interesting, like everyone has a different take of what to breathe in and what to breathe out. And really it all comes down to two things. You're either breathing life into something or you're sucking life out of something. And that something is you, your life, your creations, and all of the things that surround that. I just recently had in my own space an opportunity to, like right before this call, had an opportunity for my boys' bathroom to be tiled. Like the guy just came over at 8 o'clock this morning, and the boys' bathroom is. We've been talking about, okay, it's time to get that one finished, and it's just like raw concrete. And he's like, okay, but you need to have all of this cleaned out for me to start this afternoon. And I'm like, oh, I got this appointment and this appointment and this appointment. How is it that I'm going to be able to really fit this all in to have this dream and this vision come to fruition and have it be a reality to me? Because it's something that we talked about, and it's just like as soon as we decide, okay, it's a go, it's everything lined up. And so first off, that's a lesson right in itself right there. But then my busy schedule this morning was how I was going to make this work. So it was really like I really got to take a second and ground myself and breathe out all of my limiting beliefs and stories and challenges and realize, hey, where is the possibility? What's the possibility? And how is it that I can discover this possibility? Like really just wandering into how it is going to work, knowing that it was all really on my shoulders. You know, my husband was, he's up in Park City. For those of you that are local to Utah, you know where that's at from down in the valley. And for those of you that don't, just know that it's clear up a mountain and it's not able to come back and forth real quick. And then my little helpers that would usually help me that would come over, they're all gone to school, right? So it was me. It was me taking care of everything. And it really was taking a moment and breathing, like just really like, okay. And it's like that simple gift of breath. Yeah, Anjali, I think you're probably going to say the same thing I'm about to say.
Yep. It's huge. If you're getting overwhelmed and those voices are getting big and you're just feeling like, I can't do all this right now. You're making it a bigger deal than it really is in your head, usually. And just by taking a minute and breathing and just getting yourself recentered, it helps you to just kind of let go of all those thoughts feeling kind of cluttered together and letting them all kind of spread out a little bit and go, okay, what gets to be done first? I don't choose to be overwhelmed here, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, choice. It comes to choice. I don't choose to be overwhelmed. I choose ease and flow. Right. So even in the words of I don't choose overwhelm, we're still inviting an overwhelm. So, but that's the beginning process. It's like, okay, I'm not choosing this. What am I choosing?
Absolutely. And you know, the piece that I found that really helps me there, because my husband or someone will say, just breathe. And sometimes I'm like, I get that breathing is amazing and it really does work. But sometimes what needs to come first is matching my energy. And it feels like a big deal, even though it's really not. Inside, all that energy is welling up. And sometimes it means letting out a scream, doing something to match that energy so I can then center and breathe. Let out that big roar.
You roar for us right now, Karen.
Ah!
I really did do that before I logged on today. It was a war cry or a roar scream, and I had like everything still built up, and it's like, okay, look, I made it. I'm on time. And right before I logged in, I got to just release that, just what you were saying, and it was intense. And if anyone was here watching, they'd wonder, maybe I hurt myself or something. But that was matching the energy. It's so true and so valuable. So viewers, ladies, and all of you gentlemen that are also watching, write that down. Write that down and take note of that, of matching your energy. Because it's not just always let's just go into that place of peace and surrender.
Sometimes it just needs to be released first.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep. Exhale the bullshit.
Yep.
Exactly.
Yep. Take a big in-breath. Get your mind from outside. Go inside and go, okay, what's going on here? Because in that moment, you'll feel it. You'll feel this energy that needs releasing if it does, And so it's like, get yourself present in the moment again, and then be aware of those voices. So lots of times in the past, I used to take whatever voices were coming up to discourage me or bring me into more overwhelm. I used to just try to push those voices away and, okay, let's just get recentered like you girls are saying, and pretend like all that shit isn't there, And so instead, utilizing those voices as tools to propel you forward. So in each one of those little voices, I have found a message. So it might be, and it's very unique to each person, but those voices are very particular to you, very particular to your upbringing and your childhood at home. Those voices will try to discourage you in the very specific way that will discourage you the most. And what I've found is to take those voices and go, oh, I see you, I acknowledge you, and literally write that voice down, write down what that voice is saying, and go, you know what, have I heard this like 1,000 times a day?
Yeah, and then start doing tally marks.
30 years. Right.
Yeah.
Hey, when did this voice come in? Did this voice get introduced to me at 5 years old when I did such and such and I thought I was a bad girl? And so now here's this voice, and it's been talking to me all along to discourage me and telling me I'm a bad girl, and the story goes on to support that.
This is when everyone says, oh crap, I sound just like my mom, or oh shit, I sound just like my dad.
Those voices that we heard clear back then are repeating themselves, and it's literally is that subconscious programming. It's like we've got this, our heads here, and like halfway through there's this line, and underneath on the bottom half of this circle is all this unconscious patterning that most of the time we're not aware of. Yeah. And in the top part of the circle is our conscious patterning, and we're aware of that. And a lot of things we're not aware of because we can't be aware of everything that's really going on in our bodies all the time, and how, our heart's pumping, and all these things that are going on in our body, our mind filters that out so that we are only aware of.
It happens on purpose. Right, and same with our breath. But our breath is the one thing that we can consciously do. Yep. We breathe automatically, but that's one thing that we can do in our body. Like, we're not going to tell our heart to stop, and that's really a whole other conversation. Maybe we can go into that later. But it's like telling your heart to pump or to not pump. It just does it. It's just subconsciously. And breath is on autopilot. But that's why we call it the gift of breath. And when someone says, like, carry me, just breathe. Like, that's like, oh, I can consciously change my internal environment so that I can now be able to go and communicate what it is that's going on over here, or with whomever is in the room in a conscious, calm way amongst massive chaos.
Yeah, and I just did what I was explaining to you guys earlier about writing down this. If you also, those of you that are listening, write this down. This is a huge tool for you guys to utilize. So when you have a voice that's coming up and popping up in your head to discourage you from going and working out or from taking that action towards your business, write those voices down. Write down exactly what they're saying. Those critical voices that come in your head that judge your partner, saying, oh, he's such a lazy, you know, whatever, he needs to come and help. Why doesn't he just see what needs to be done? Or, you know, those repetitive voices, and then take and turn those voices around. Create a positive declaration for yourself that you can say out loud every morning to reverse that, because it's like this subconscious programming that just runs all the time, just like all those other body functions that we don't even have to think about. That subconscious programming just runs all the time and dictates this energy and vibration that we show up in life in. And so as we change this subconscious patterning, we up our vibration, and we change our vibration. We change what we're willing to accept and not accept about ourselves, how much love we're willing to receive and give. So that is...
Yeah, and at those higher vibrations, then we're able to handle more. We're able to, our capacity is expanding, continually expanding. And then when we're at that higher vibration, we can only stay there for so long until we'll start sabotaging ourselves to go back. Because it's kind of like that thermometer comes up to here, but we're only used to the thermometer being right here, but we raise it to here. It's going to be exhausting. It's going to feel exhausting when you raise your vibrations to this level, so you're coming back down. But then you bring it back up, and so you're right here. So your new normal's right here. So then you raise it up again, and it can be exhausting, especially those that are new to this concept and new to this kind of conditioning of the brain and the mindsets and all that goes with it. And so then we bring it down to this level, but then bring it back up. And that's how we continue to expand the capacity of creating, of receiving, of giving, of all of that, because we can only operate at the capacity that we are used to right now. And then we always just slowly, those baby steps that we talk about in almost every call, same thing right here.
Yep. Implementing each thing and each tool, taking action, is going to raise our vibration and our belief in ourselves in taking more action. And, you know, and that's another thing that plays into those voices as you continue to take action and repeat that declaration. You know, you might be standing in your, you know, room getting ready and have them hanging on your mirror and say them out loud. And, you know, I like to have them written down, because then you can see the words. You're getting all senses. You say it out loud. Your ears are hearing it. The visual, you're looking at yourself. And then I like to touch, too. Put my hand up here and feel the vibration and say it. Say it loud. And obviously not all the time can you say it loud if there's other people around or whatever, but you can still whisper it to yourself if you're not trying to be too loud. But get those senses involved. Get your energy moving and changing differently around those negative voices that have been there. Once you identify a specific phrase that has been hounding you, then create the opposite, positive phrase that can then empower you. So those negative voices are like, oh, cool, there you are. There's a very specific one. Oh, I've heard you a long time. You know, I'm ready to change this one. You know, and then you get to create a new phrase. You get to create something that then can be utilized to empower you. So it's a great action step to do right there daily.
That in itself is one of the most magnificent, amazing tools that's used across the board. You could probably learn it in hundreds and hundreds of books out there. And I'm going to add to what Anjali is sharing, how important it is in those moments when we all have experiences that we go through. We all have shit that's going to come up. We all have people saying stuff about us, and whether we think it affects us or not, it does on some level. And when we choose to raise our vibrations and expand our capacity, it becomes less and less that they bother us. But when we're whatever level that you guys are at, whatever level you're performing at, it doesn't matter. It's always, those are always going to be there. And so in addition to what Angela is sharing, it's highly important to surround yourself with support, highly important to have some kind of accountability in your space. So in those moments when you're just feeling down and just like kind of in a state of depression, and again, depending on what level you've been operating at, but that state of depression or doubt, I'm just going to call it doubt first because doubt comes in before depression. It has a tendency to start running the show, and then we slack off, and then we don't show up at the gym, or then we don't create our dreams to be a reality. We don't eat the food that we know is going to support our body of health. We don't do the action steps for business, whatever that is. We don't have the conversations with our sweetheart. We kind of fall back and be like, oh, it's not important.
Well,
So
Clarissa, you also brought up the piece on support, and a lot of it is why should people care about raising their vibration, getting up here? And I guess the way that I look at it is so many people are out there willing to go find the newest phone, the newest computer, the newest whatever, and always upgrading. But what's the most damn powerful computer out there? It is your brain. It is your body. It is you. You are a being that is the most powerful. Why not upgrade you and create that support so you can?
Boom.
Oh, yeah.
Roar!
Right there.
It's
Exactly.
so true. That brings me to how often, like, wow, Cameron, I think you just really hit the nail on the head. We're always upgrading all of the electronic devices, the vehicles that we drive, changing the food in the fridge. We're always upgrading, always up-leveling, and we tend to put ourselves last. We put our mindset last.
Right, and you're changing that oil that gets dirty in your car. The oil's continually getting changed. But how do you change the dirty oil and shit that's rolling around in you? How do you get rid of that? How do you change your oil weekly, daily? That's by taking those negative phrases, those negative voices, those things that other people will even start saying. As you start getting them and cleaning them out of your space, other people are going to notice that your energy's higher, and you're going to be bumping up against their vibration. They might feel, have all sorts of stories that come up, and it's been a very common thing for me to get something out of my space, a very specific voice, and then to have that same specific voice, somebody outside of me that has no idea what the hell I'm doing or what negative phrase I am getting out of my programming, and somebody else will say it almost for word, and I'm going, oh gosh, there's a challenge, and just to realize, nope, I'm going to keep saying that positive declaration that will counteract that.
And they're tricky. They're tricky. Ladies, they're tricky, and they'll get you, just like what Angela's saying. They're going to use your kids against you. They're going to use your husband, or your guys, if you're listening, your sweetheart against you, your best friends against you, your brothers, your sisters, your moms, your dads. Like, they're going to use those against you, and they're tricky. And what's fun about this is like learning to play the game. Like learning to play the game and finding the humor in it, and how it's like, oh my gosh, I know this is going to show up. It's like, okay, I choose to change this pattern. I choose to do here.
Yeah, and this was one of the biggest reasons we started that whole 6-week developing personal power. We want to be able to support people very easily, very doable, and you're going to have so much damn support in that you're not going to be able to, you're going to be able to just really excel all that bullshit.
Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yep. And as you push through those voices, then you gain that confidence, and then you go take the action steps you've known that you've wanted to take, or have needed and saw that you need to take to excel your business or your fitness level. And then those voices come in, and then you doubt yourself, and then there comes no action taken because of that lack of confidence, because you bought into the voice.
And I
You know,
notice the words that are coming out of your mouth. Always notice. And notice anytime you say cool, whatever, or I'm fine. There's
Did
some
you come
voices
up with an
happening.
acronym for good too?
We will. We'll create an acronym for good. So all you guys who are listening, stay tuned. We'll create it. So the acronym, my favorite acronym for fine is cool. So freaked out, insecure, neurotic, and emotional from one of my favorite shows. But it is. It's like whenever someone tells me they're fine, I come back with, I says, okay, cool. So you're a little freaked out right now, maybe a little emotional and insecure with what's going on in your side, your own head. You know, what's the world that you're creating? And it comes back to we're the perfect example to show the world how to love us. Like literally, whatever you choose to accept into your space is what's going to be. Whatever you're experiencing right now in your relationships, whether it be with your husband or your wife or your kids or your siblings or your friends, they're treating you the way that you have said it's okay to treat you.
mm-hmm.
And for some that may hurt and the wound runs deep. Because when we step into that space of accountability and responsibility for all that's happening in our life, and we choose to truly inhale all of the good shit and exhale all of the stuff that's not serving us, all of that bullshit, it's a space of responsibility. And we play with those who are willing to go to that space, and it can be scary as hell. And it can be like, holy shit, I've created this? Are you kidding me? No. We all do. And at times, it's hard to accept that. At times, it can be a big damn challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why it's so important what we're sharing in this 6-week foundation work of developing your personal power. Discovering the power of the roar inside of you. Surrounding yourself with other women that are on this same path doesn't mean they're broken. Doesn't mean they've given up. It means that they're ready to fucking take charge. They're ready to hit those keys of responsibility and realize they're the one that's playing the symphony in their head.
Yep. It's easy to take responsibility for, you know, the good that's happening in our families or the good that's happened in our lives, and it's very difficult for people and their egos to accept responsibility for the way that your kids or spouse might be treating you that you don't necessarily like, or a coworker is treating you. When you take absolute responsibility that you have played a part in how others are treating you, and you have played a part in how others are talking about you and interacting with you, you are the key factor. You'll notice patterns. No matter where I go, the same type of patterns happen with how people are treating me.
Right. It's what we've allowed.
Right. And so as soon as you take responsibility for those voices and go, gosh, why would I be allowing these types of stories to be running in my mind? Why do I believe this? Why does it feel like it has such a big hold on me? You know, and
sometimes I would add, Angelique, that sometimes it's not even the question of why, because we can get stuck in that space. I think that's important. But if we even went to this space of, is this working? Is it working? Is this what I want?
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, sometimes we get to the place of, you know, we need to do it this way, we need to do it that way, there's a right way, there's a wrong way. And, you know, if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not big enough kind of thing, right? We've all heard that saying. But really what it comes down to is, does it work? And if it's not working, if it's not you getting the results that you want, then it's time to change some shit up.
Mm-hmm. Well, and that's exactly it too, because if you wanted different results, then you would push through all of that and you would get different results. You know, and so it's like you're saying, do I like what I'm getting? Do I want something different? You know, apparently, based on the results I've been recreating the last however many years you've been recreating same patterns, obviously you are comfortable at that level. And or you would do something about it. There's some things that all of a sudden you're ready to change.
And
so,
ladies, when you're ready, you're gonna know. And you'll take action to make it happen. When you're ready, you'll be willing to take action. If you're not willing to take action, to hold yourself accountable, to be committed to something, you're not ready. And so don't lie to yourself.
yeah, and if you're not willing to absolutely take responsibility for exactly what's showing up in your space, clear even to back when I was a stay-at-home mom that didn't work at all, I was like, had 3 little kids, all like 5, 3, and 1, and feeling like, oh, you know, I'm stuck at the house, I can't really go many places, I've got too many kids, and I would just buy into this self-pity story, and, you know, and criticize in my mind my husband for not coming home earlier, and then when he was home, why doesn't he help me more, and, you know, I do everything around here myself, and all these voices, and really not owning my unhappiness that I was creating. And nothing shifted. Like it really spiraled and got worse and worse and worse, till I considered, gosh, maybe getting a divorce sounds a lot nicer, because I'm sure creating this misery here in my own mind.
Yeah.
Half the time our spouse doesn't even know. Like they're gone at work, they're like working hard to bring home the bacon, and they have no idea, you know, and we have no idea what they're thinking. You know, it was just kind of like, so many times it is just all these stories running in our minds. And in my mind I thought, you know, divorce is not an option for me. I love my husband and my kids, and why do I feel so drawn in by these stories that I'm projecting onto him, and why do I feel so unhappy, and why am I blaming him for everything? And nothing ever changed until I 100% took accountability for the stories I was creating, the perceptions I was creating in my mind of how he was acting. Nothing shifted until I absolutely owned it. So that's huge. Own your voices. They're yours.
Yes. Yep. And so, ladies, if you guys are ready, it's going to be very powerful. It's time to start taking care of yourself.
Yep.
You get to be your own
cheerleader.
Cheerleader. Your own cheerleader. And your magnificence will absolutely shine. You will see how powerful and how beautiful you are at your core.
Yep. You'll take action that you haven't taken for your whole life that you've wanted to. You'll start believing in yourself and doing things and creating different results because you're doing something different.
So if you're ready to inhale more of the good shit with us and Tara, who is not here with us today, and exhale the bullshit and the stories and release what is not working, and discover and do what is working, get a hold of us. That 6-week course is for you. It starts the end of January. January 26th, it's a Monday at 1 o'clock. They will be recorded, so if you don't make it at the 1 o'clock time, you can listen to it later.
And can I mention super affordable for anyone?
Holy shit. Super,
never get it
for the 4 of us coming together, you guys screaming deal.
Yep.
Ladies, screaming deal. This is lower than I've ever done. Like really lower than I've ever run any of my masterminds for, and you guys are getting it for a screaming deal. Get a hold of one of us.
All right. Well, that looks like we're out of time. So thank you so much for chiming in and hearing what we got to say. And we love you guys. We look forward to next week. You guys have anything else you want to add?
Thanks. Have a great day.
No, it's amazing. Listen to your voices. Make tally marks how often you hear them.
Perfect. Have a wonderful day.